going on, everyone? We are back, and it is the greatest week ever. It is League Start Week, and we are going to be going over an easy way to level kind of the strategy that I'm going to be using to get through the campaign and kind of my plans. And if you watch my channel enough, you know I like to keep things simple and as easy and straightforward as possible. So we are going to go summon Raging Spirits, Necromancer, which is a witch. Now you can play this also on Guardian. I've never played SRS on Guardian, but I'm assuming it's beefier with probably a hit to the damage it does. But the reason I'm playing it on Witch is because every league I do my favorite build, Cast on Great Ice Spear, and I usually do it second because I like to do it big. I don't work into it. It's very hard to league start, and it can be pricey to make it feel good. So I usually do another build to make it easy to go through the campaign and start farming a little bit. That being said, I probably will play this for a couple weeks, keeping in mind this is my part-time job to play PoE. I put a lot of hours in the first couple weeks, an ungodly, unhealthy amount of hours. So playing it for a couple weeks might sound like that doesn't sound like a lot of time. To a lot of people, I understand that. Just know I do this part-time for a living, so I am going to spend more time than the average person playing this game. Now, I played 2 of the events this league. Well, I actually played all 3, but Crangled Passives is absolutely god-awful. GGG. Please get rid of that. It's not fun. It's stupid. But the 2 leagues that two events that I did play, that I took it all the way to the end, I did this both times, both as practice, and to make sure that it was good each time, and I didn't just get lucky with gear or anything. And it was brainless. The campaign was probably the easiest campaign I've ever played, other than when you have, you know, a twinked build, you have some currency, and you can just start up with 6 links and buying stuff. But just from a perspective of not being able to do that, and as a league start, this was stupid easy. Once you get multi-strike for the bosses, they absolutely melt. You can also use melee splash support for some more clearing speed. That helps also. But there are plenty of reasons people league start SRS, because it is stupid easy. So if you want a really easy league start, it's okay to kind of go with the crowd on this one. Whenever I was stuck, I would go and look up Gazzy's SRS poison build, and it also has the physical start, which I will give you the TLDR of just the basic ways to follow it. But I highly suggest you go check out that guide for more in-depth stuff for once you start mapping and going over to your poison SRS. So you are going to get SRS very early, which is really nice because you can practically start it. I think you get it within the first 4 or 5 levels, if I remember correctly. And you are going to want to link that with the minion damage support, which is also something you get very early. Then you're eventually going to link that with melee splash support, and then change that to multi-strike. Or if you want to keep it melee splash, you can. It makes the clear a little bit better. Then maybe just switch out for the multi-strike when you are bossing. Just make sure you have the multi-strike or melee splash, whichever one you are not using, still socketed in something so it is leveling with your other gems so it doesn't fall behind. Then you are going to want to use probably Clarity for the aura, so you get your mana regeneration. That's another quality of life thing, just makes the campaign easier. And then you can use Skitterbots when you get them as your aura for a little bit of quality of life, and that shock attack that they do that will make the people take more damage. That also helps a lot. You can also add on Infernal Legion if you want. That is going to make the minions do damage, fire damage to people around them, kind of like a tick, but it will drain their health and they will die. You'll have to cast them more often. Eventually adding in the Unleash support, which is going to make it so every cast is going to be an extra 1 to 3 spirits, so you aren't stopping the cast constantly. You can cast, walk for a couple seconds, cast again. That's another quality of life, and it also makes it so that you are keeping your summon Raging Spirits as high as possible, up to a maximum of 20. Then you want to get Immolate support on the chain, so you can have them do more fire damage, because we're mostly doing fire damage, as well as add in Anger Aura. That is going to be very helpful. Another damage thing. That is going to be your main goal for the build before you transition into the poison. For the passive tree, I am just going to leave a link in the description of the tree that I followed. It is Gazzy's tree. I'll probably just link to that page with the guide for you guys. Check that out. He lays it out really well. If you don't know, Ghazi is the minion master. He is everything minion up to this game, and he's just a great guy, and I love his guides. So go give him some love. Give his YouTube a subscribe. Also, he puts out really great content. So hopefully Ghazi doesn't mind me linking that and just saying follow this. But it's not an overly complicated tree. When you see it, everything's going to make sense. It's minion damage, minion speed, minion cast speed, stuff like that. Just basically going everywhere to get you a little bit of survivability and get your minion damage up pretty quickly at the same time. Another nice thing about minions is with some builds, I'm moving so fast, I'm not killing enough things, and I start to get very underleveled, sometimes finishing the campaign at like 62 to 63, which is pretty damn low. But with the minions, especially once you start getting minion speed, they're going to be running off screen and killing stuff and getting you that extra experience so you don't fall too far behind while you're also moving fast, which is very helpful. I think I finished the campaign an average around 68 to level 70, which is very nice and a very good spot to start mapping. Now, once I rip through the campaign and I am able to start mapping, there are a couple decisions that are unfortunately kind of up in the air. This is, there's two things that I'm going to do. What I did during the events is as soon as I got done with the campaign, I immediately went and started mapping a little bit until I just had enough chaos to buy a level 68 Forbidden Tome for the Sanctum. Now, if you've read the patch notes, they reduce the rate at which Forbidden Tomes drop, and they do not say by how much. So the price for them could go from 5 to 10 chaos. It could go from 5 chaos to 5 divine, or anywhere in between or over. We have no way to know yet, so hopefully it's not so crazy that running Sanctum is just a terrible idea. Now, you do not have to do that. That is what I did, just simply because it got me enough divines very quickly, usually 4 divines on average, to get one of the first Severed in Sleep swords that come up. Now, if you play a little bit less than I do, and you aren't at this point for, say, a week into the league, there's going to be more of them on there. They're going to be cheaper, but this is what I did to try to go into Poison SRS as quickly as possible. Now, if you are not looking to speed into the Poison SRS, because trust me, the other way, the fire damage one, physical, is going to feel fine and feel fine for mapping, and it is not necessary to switch into Poison SRS, but it is a good boss killer, and it makes it so the Searing Exarch and the Eater of Worlds are very easy, which gets you your Watchstones even quicker, and you don't have to buy a carry for someone to kill them. You can still do it with the original build, the fire physical damage, but the Poison SRS just makes it easier. You do more damage. It is, a great single target damage to an extreme, so that's why I rushed Sanctum, but that might not be the case. So what I would do in that case, and what a lot of you should do, is just start going up the map atlas. I have videos on that. I am going to have a video coming out that will talk more about that, so make sure you get subscribed to keep up with that. And yeah, that will not be a problem if Sanctum is nerfed. There are backup plans for that too. This build is also very good at doing the Labyrinth trials, so make sure as you're leveling, you're getting them and speccing into Necromancer. Then you're going to want to get Mindless Aggression, then Commander of Darkness, Mistress of Sacrifice, and then lastly, Bone Armor. Now, feel free to not get them in that order. That's just what I recommend. That's the one that I did, and it felt really good. If you see something, maybe, I want to be even tankier, I want to get Bone Armor first, or maybe not first. That's a little ridiculous, but, second or third. Instead of fourth, that is fine. If you are bad at keeping Bone Armor up, it is a skill you have to use. You can put it on your left click, so that whenever you move, it will cast if it is up while you're still moving. It kind of makes it brainless. Keep in mind, though, that means it might be on cooldown at a very inconvenient time, maybe when you're fighting a boss or something. So that is the downside, but I like to have it in on left click, so it's just up as much as possible, and whenever it is off cooldown. So lastly, when you do want to start going into Poison, if you are going to, go into Poison eventually, you are going to want to start with a couple key items to transfer over. Number one is the Severed in Sleep Cutlass. It is going to give your minions a chance to inflict Withered and it's going to give you the level 25 enemy skill, which is going to give your minions an aura that adds chaos damage to attacks and spells. That is very, very important. Then you are going to want to get a Darkness Enthroned Stygian Vice. The reason for that is it will have 2 abyssal sockets, which you can put abyssal jewels in, and it will double the value of those abyssal jewels. So what that does is you can get a high chance for minions to poison the enemy. That is what this build is based on. Stacking poison, getting it to a point where it's 100% chance to poison them and do chaos damage when you do it. You can also get added chaos damage as well. With something else, you can get life on these. But the main thing being that chance to poison enemies on hit. So this 14 will be doubled to 28, and this 15 will be doubled to 30. So that is 58%. Then you can go on your tree and you can put some more chance to poison on your tree to hit that 100%. Very important. Very, very good damage. Highly recommend it. Then you can go into some bone rings to get some more minions have increased attack and cast speed, as well as keeping them alive a little bit longer or increased damage. These are pretty decent rings. You are able to get these for relatively cheap. They are not that uncommon, and they are still really good. Those are the main things. You can get plus level to all fire spell skill gems and stuff like that, or just all spell skill gems on stuff. But that is the main gist of it. Now, we will see what the Transfigured Gem is for SRS. I don't think it is out yet at the time of recording this video. I have not checked today, even though I know they're releasing them today. I saw a YouTube video go up a couple hours ago by Sir Gog that said still no Transfigured Gem new updates. So I'm assuming they are now up as I'm recording this, but you know, we'll see what they do and we can mess around with that at a later time. So yeah, guys, that's the TLDR on what I'm going to do on League Start. Again, I'm going to use SRS on a witch. I am going to breeze through the campaign, breeze through my Ascendancy trials, and then I am going to try and do a Sanctum, because this build's very good at Sanctum. If the Forbidden Tomes are not crazy rare now and not too expensive, and then whether they are or not, I'm either going to be doing those in offsetting with going up the Atlas map. Again, I'm going to make a new video on that in the next couple days, so be sure you subscribe. Get ready for that. Either way, we will get it going, and this is an amazing strategy to just breeze through and really start making currency. So if you are a new player that has never, you know, ripped through the campaign fast, and this is the league where you're like, no, I am going to get a great head start on everything, this is a very viable plan, and this is the one that I will be doing, that I tested. So thanks everyone for watching, and that is going to do it for this video. And I am so pumped for Affliction League. Again, I've never played Ultimatum League. I didn't play that one, and everyone is super hyped for it. And it looks really up my alley. Very excited to be able to try it for the first time. And hopefully I can make some mapping strategies that throw that in as well. And it's just going to be great. I think it's going to be a very hype and popular league with all the changes. So until next time, guys, we'll see you later.